evening, and welcome to the adventures of the 11th Ornament. Guys, where's the theme song?
11th Ornament!
Thank you. Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah. Welcome back. I'd like to take this opportunity, actually going to kind of do a little bit of a reboot. I'm going to thank our incredible artists who make this production possible. And also introduce the players a little bit. So while we're waiting on Chavis to jump in, big shout out to Chipeku, Eightfold Paper, Griffin Saddlebag, Sin Lair, all incredible artists on Patreon whose art we use liberally, and are followers and patrons of. They just do incredible work. The music that you hear in the stream is courtesy of Ivan Duck. I don't know. It's D-U-C-H. I always am afraid that I pronounced it incorrectly, but it's available through Foundry Virtual Tabletop, which is the platform that we play on. If you're curious, Foundry Virtual Tabletop is an incredible game board tabletop. It can be used to play all manner of tabletop games, from Dungeons and Dragons, Warhammer 40k to Uno. So super cool platform. Recommend you check it out as well. Our art for characters is all provided either by Hero Forge mini creator for our player characters, or it is art that is licensed by Wizards of the Coast via either Magic the Gathering's incredible cast of artists, or published Dungeons and Dragons material. Go figure. We use material for the game we're playing. So all of that is Wizards of the Coast stuff. All really excellent. To introduce the cast, we have 6 players in this campaign, although only 5 are present at the top of this show. I'm going to go through them really quickly. Cameron is the last person to have spoken before I started stream, so he is
Hi.
live at the top. He plays Dorn, who was once known as Gorstag, a pseudonym, a human fighter who's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's got some family trauma and a grudge against the Cult of the Dragon. He's kind of a can-do attitude, even though all of his family members are powerful casters, and he is real bad at spells. He's got a lightsaber, so he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Going down the line to Iken. Mason, say something so you appear.
Something so you can appear.
My beautiful brother Mason plays Iken, the monk from across the ocean, a mystical empire only rumored about on this side of the sea. Born into an elite cast of warriors to protect the emperor, he, through great misfortune, found himself abroad and enslaved, and has since been, since relieving himself from a gladiatorial ring, been roaming Faerun with little aim, except now he has found a bond, formed a bond with an Oni, a demonic being from his home region, that he seeks to kind of encourage and grow that bond and eventually master that creature's power.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, that's right. William, you're muted.
Oh, I'm not muted anymore. There you go. I'm on the screen now.
Yeah. William is Tabaxi Gnome, who pretty early in our Tomb of Annihilation run unfortunately lost his life to a Zentarum inquisitorial squad, and being under the effects of the death curse, found a loophole that would allow him to continue playing as the same character, but involved reincarnation, which has unfortunately left him in the body of a gnome for the vast majority of this campaign thus far. He, of course, in addition to the party's normal goals and aspirations, is highly interested in getting back to his body and resuming the form that he grew up in. He's also got some kind of fucky stuff going on right now with his goddess, Salune, and kind of some corruption with a vampire, but, you know, you just go back and watch the episodes. They're really good. Moving on to Jerry.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
I can't
You
hear
are
you.
clear to walk the cabin.
I'm just kidding. All right. Jerry.
That was awesome.
is
What was that?
That was really unusual. Oh my god.
What's happening?
What is happening?
Is that Jonathan?
I think it
Oh
is
my
Jonathan.
gosh. I think it's Jonathan.
Jonathan, mute yourself.
He's so concerned. What's such concerned face? Or is it Will?
Oh. Hello? No, it's Jonathan.
Alright.
What the heck is going on?
He's been turned into a slad. What's a salad? He's gone now.
Are there
Jerry.
like
That's not Jerry.
no, it's not.
Jerry, say some words so that you appear on the stream. I'm talking about you directly to your face.
Words of speaking.
Thank you. Words of speaking. It's a powerful magical item. Yes, Jerry, pilot of the illustrious Alucard Eversoul, a dynastic legacy of a group of adventurers responsible for ending the plight of the Dragon Queen some time ago. He's got some parental issues, abandoned at a young age, as his for reasons unknown to him exactly. So he is an elf. I always forget you are a full elf, aren't you? You're a half elf.
Yes, I'm an elf-like creature.
An elf sorcerlock, beholden to a mysterious creature whom we know little about, and also possessed of entirely unpredictable magics. Alucard sees himself as not an anti-hero, but kind of just begrudgingly along for the ride. Having had no intention when he set out to become an adventurer or ascribe to the adventuring life that his parents may have left behind for him. And that brings us to Alex, AJ, who's cooking dinner.
Hello, it me.
As he speaks, you will see his chair appear. What
Hello.
a majestic chair. Hey, there he is.
Look, I did it.
He did it. AJ, who is the actor for Tur Yordklo, a dwarf of a pirate-like society from the Moonshae Islands, and a pioneer for his people, seeking a better life for them and a way for them to end their ravenous, destructive ways, potentially. Although he himself is a barbarian who was at a young age raised by druids of that land and has a barbaric rage that allows him to take on aspects of animals, local kind of transformations. His primary goal in the mission right now is entirely tied to the fact that the Moonshae Islands and the region where he is from is most imminently in danger from the threat at hand. Anything to add? Oh, you're so pretty.
He's a thick boy. Big thick boy. Little thick boy.
Big little thick boy.
That's right.
Yes, absolutely. And that brings us to Chavis.
He's a warlock or something. I don't. did we
Oh
talk
yeah,
about that?
Barberlock. Barberlock, which is a combination you never see because it's
It's bad.
it's
We'll
uncommon.
just say it's very thematic and not necessarily optimized.
That is
Look,
absolutely true.
That's what we like. Yeah, we like to see it.
That's what I'm here for.
That brings us to Chavis. I guess his name is Jonathan.
Is that right?
That's what people tell me. Who plays 3 characters in one. Changeling with multiple personalities. He was raised by a branch of a secret organization known as the Harpers to be a spy and a confidant. And so he uses his changeling abilities to kind of fit the scene, whatever it requires. His goals and aspirations right now involve finding that Harper agent who was the leader of that branch that took him in at a very young age and raised him as that individual has gone missing. Of course, everyone's immediate goals lie in stopping the titanic being Cernunnos from rampaging across the globe and turning it all into a prehistoric forest. Um, it seems that the party stumbled upon the summoning of this creature from the sister planet of Aber. Um, not to get too deep, but at some point in the annals of history, in the very prehistoric past, gods and titans were at war with one another across the planet, in the material plane at large, and Ao, the overgod, caused there to be a division between these two material planes, just slightly out of phase. Think like very Witcher is a similar sort of paradigm, where one world was called Aber and one world was called Toril. All the titans went to Aber and all the gods stayed on Toril, which becomes the realm in which our heroes generally adventure and do business and live their lives. However, a very gentle collision between Aber and Toril occurred some 40 to 50 years ago, causing Dragonborn to return to the realms of Faerun for the first time in eons, but also allowing apparently a small sliver of the Titan Cernunnos to return, kind of piggybacked as there was a small cultic group of worshippers for that entity residing in the Moonshays, and through some shenanigans, which were entirely unintentional and all mostly captured on stream at the beginning of the series, if you want to go back and check, Cernunnos was awakened in a very large way and is rampaging across the Moonshay Islands. The party is seeking to speak with Ao the Overgod, the god of gods, a divine being who stepped in once long ago to create order where there was none. And to do that, they had to travel to his realms. The only one of very few ways to get to his realms is to travel upon the river Styx, which in some ways touches every realm as it passes through the multiverse. But to find where the river Styx connects with the material plane, they must venture deep into the Underdark, near the vast empire of the theocracy, matriarchy society of drow priestesses who worship Loth, the fallen elven god, the Spider Queen. And as they are traveling through the Underdark, they have to kind of get close to those realms in order to reach the river Styx, so they can begin an even more unknown leg of the journey. Most recently,
Shit.
yes, please.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
I was gonna
absolutely.
give some information,
Mhm.
but I'll ask when you're done.
You already stopped me now, are you sure?
No, I'm good. Good.
Okay.
By all means.
Most recently, the party has found their way into the Underdark, found an old smuggling line, a smuggling trail, and come across a pair of Svirfneblin, deep gnomes, who have led them, with some coaxing and cajoling, and some bartering, led them to the deep gnome village of Podrock. Village is kind of a misnomer. It's a rather large city. It's located in a strange spherical cavern that has a column. It's a stalagmite-stalactite combo that meets in the middle, and gravity seems to always face the outside of this like hollow donut, sort of invert donut situation. There is an ancient forge, apparently, according to rumor, legend, in the center of this space where old and ancient beings once experimented with gravitational forces to create high pressure situations to forge diamond objects. But long since been abandoned, the Svirfneblin of Podrock have turned it into a metropolis which clings and climbs up the central column all the way around and over the ceiling and along the walls and down. And so this beautiful brass-capped roofs everywhere, gnomish village is where the party has come to reside for the time being while they plan to make their embarkation to Menzoberranzan, the capital of the Drow Empire. I am led to believe, with my eyeballs too as well, that Jonathan Chavis, my good friend, who pilots Bel and Mathesis, the changeling I was speaking of just moments ago, has arrived.
You're muted in Skype. Hello.
Hello! Hi, friend! He
How's it
exists. It's true. It's real. Pretty good. So, without further ado, there were a number of things that the party had endeavored to accomplish in Podrock on this kind of short day of rest. Podrock has a weird way of keeping track of time. They keep track of it as number of minutes to midnight. So their time of day always counts down to midnight. I guess there's no sun, there's no harvest, there's no reason to be out in the fields or farming, which is kind of the original necessity for time. Keeping track of when the sun goes down and seeing how much time you have left. So it's kind of an irrelevant feature here. So the party has done some shopping and is thinking about engaging the two deep gnomes that they first met on the smuggling path, Miles and Chip, to lead them along another smuggling route to very near to Menzoberranzan. And that's where we're going to rejoin the party. Anybody have anything else that I left out? Please feel free to jump in.
I was just going to make a statement.
Please.
This is the 60th session since we left the tomb.
It's been how long?
This is the 60th session.
Since ending the death curse.
Yes.
Death curse over.
How many sessions
Congratulations.
did it take for us to end the death curse?
That's in the paper notebook, which is not immediately available to me.
Oh, chronicler.
Yes, we went digital
I see.
after the tomb.
And by we, Jerry.
But
Yeah.
we didn't repaper our notes to a digital format, so.
You're right. That's gonna ain't nobody doing that. So that's a lot of work. Also, this is our first full day in the Underdark. I'm gonna keep track of how many days that we are in the Underdark before before we die or we save the world again.
Or
Either one is fine.
The Underdark becomes the Underdark, and then the above world just becomes the Overdark because of the plants.
Yeah. So also 4
Huh.
days left before Alucard can drink again. So we're close, steadily approaching.
Alucard's been sober for about 4 months IRL time.
Yeah, should say that.
That's true.
Oh,
That's commendable, Alucard. Well
is
done.
there anything else that anybody wants me to keep track of that's not too crazy and not too hard to keep track of?
Can you keep track of every pun I make?
Nope. Yeah, can't do that.
What's Will? You're muted.
You can keep track of every time Jonathan switches characters.
Also, a lot of work. Let's.
It's really not. It's not super common.
We keep track of every time that Will tries to say something, but he's muted. Or Jerry.
Or Jerry.
I'm good. I do have a
See,
question.
Jerry
Is Podrock...
has a visual indicator other than just his mouth moving.
You're right. Is Podrock a one-word name or a two-word name?
A one-word name.
Okay. Also,
Podrock.
last session we discussed that we were going to work out the rest of this day because we were going to go somewhere. I don't remember where it was, and then because I asked if we were going to
Yeah.
fast forward, we're specifically going somewhere.
Specifically to the church of
Corleon Wrath.
Corleon and the Rathian. Corleon the Rathian. There's an and in that name.
Not anymore.
Okay. Is that what we're doing at this very moment? We're on
I don't
our
know.
way
It's
there.
the only thing that I
generally-
know that we had to do with the day.
Okay.
Generally, I like to set the scene, and then you guys tell me what you're doing. So,
So we all met up after the shopping happened, and we're going towards the temple of Corleon Larethian.
I would assume you went back to the inn, the
inn.
only establishment in the city that is appropriately sized for visitors of your height, stature, run by Everett DeBalm, a human who apparently, when he was 6, fell down a well into the Underdark and has lived here ever since. So as you all reconvene at the inn after doing some shopping, getting some mushrooms, running down Drow in the street, let's hop back into the scene as you're all kind of gathering around one of the large tables.
Am I mistaken that the last thing we did was dinner? Did we shop after dinner?
It was after dinner we shopped because we talked to
Okay.
the gnomes.
Yes, you went to eat
Oh, it
to
was
know that
after
they were
lunch
shopping.
specifically.
At lunch,
not-
right.
Lunch, right.
Right.
Which is very late in the day for lunch.
Well, what is day?
about 350 minutes to midnight, right?
Very late in the modular time period.
I've been talking a lot, so I'm gonna let you guys do some of that while I hop on.
Did you get the impression that we would be able to go with you to the church, or is it almost more of a one-on-one conversation?
No, I think that you all should come with me. I indicated to the priestess that I had a party that would be joining me.
Very well.
Not particularly a religious person, but I would be interested in seeing
Yeah, no,
what the temple to an elf looks like.
yeah, no, I think it'd be good to go. At least for me, right now.
Are you having a crisis of faith right now?
Well, have you not noticed
Yes,
that things been a little
specifically,
weird?
yes.
Sure, but I mean,
It's a little
you
little
got-
on the nose, brother.
here's the problem. Like weird isn't. My life is weird, so I'm just trying to just make sure I understand what you mean by weird.
No, you literally it's not a better way to put what it I just have not addressed it yet. 100%. I'm having that.
Okay. I don't think you need to yell at me about it. I was just asking a question for clarification,
just
but it's fine.
Didn't sure,
Clarification.
you seemed like you weren't aware of it, but also were very aware of it, and that's why it was upsetting. It's like, yeah, I have that problem. I don't.
We're talking about the red thing, right? Magic, all the red stuff, and it wasn't
Sure,
red before.
that's
Gehenna situation. Gotcha.
that's the tip of the iceberg of my problems right now. Alucard, I'm sorry that I'm not as open with them. But yeah, no,
Alucard,
that's the problem for me.
It was very delicately handled. I'd like to congratulate you on that. That was well done.
That was not at all. Like, no. Like, that should have been handled completely differently. That was really blunt.
Hey,
Hold on.
Kind of
Hey.
insensitive.
it's okay.
Wait,
So-
Not
okay.
everyone speaks as eloquently as everyone else.
Well, I just didn't want Alucard to think that was good, because Doran just said it was, and it wasn't.
No. Alucard and I have known each other for quite a while, and I think he understands my particular brand of sarcasm.
Yes, I understand that. I just didn't. I guess I put it this way. I didn't know that perhaps the situation was as emotionally charged as it might be. That's
Do you
all.
remember
That's
the last
all.
time that we went
I
to
didn't
a
read the
church
moment.
that was actually my church, and almost like it was seen as an enemy? It felt like. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Vale. As much.
Okay,
How do I
because
put
if
this
you weren't paying
eloquently?
attention, that's fine. But you were there for it.
Physically, I'm a lot of places.
Sure. And you have your own problems that we don't need to talk about. But that's
Unless
okay.
you want to. You're
Do you think
welcome
they
to
ever
talk
have
your
problems with
out with
fog
us.
I
here at
understand. No,
Podrock?
and I mean that.
Not sure.
This is like emotionally
about
charged,
ice
and I apologize for
storms?
being that way.
Ice storms are
But
weird a lot.
Any flooding issues? Do you think? Let me
Oh.
try to
change the
segue
subject
into
by
a
talking about the
subject
weather.
change.
I get it. I
here.
understand.
If
Okay,
you're
we
trying
can
to-
talk about it later.
I don't need to be
I feel as
patronized
though
to get through
there's
this.
probably a lot of flooding of emotions around the parts lately.
Mommy's all
You know
right,
what? I think that we should
Daddy's
go
all
to the
right,
church. We should probably just go.
Okay. Yes, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that.
That's
I would also like to
Um,
just posit the idea that after we go to the church, we do have a conversation. Because there's obviously some stuff going on, and we're about to go into a very dangerous place to do a very dangerous thing, to do another subsequent very dangerous thing.
Subsequent.
And I would very much like to be on the same page with all of you. Again.
Supplement form.
Is this Bell or Mathesis? I'm sorry, real quick.
This
This
is
Mathesis,
Matt.
right?
This is
It's
Mathesis.
Mathesis,
I got you.
yes.
I got you. So I thought so. I just make sure. So Mathesis, I completely understand to have a conversation, but as most nobles do, we suppress and compartmentalize until we.
Alucard,
No, he's
Die
right.
young
That's
age.
we definitely do
So,
that. It's
Alucard?
true.
hey, I respect that. However,
So hard, you don't even know.
however, right now, like, you're not a noble.
Oh, I never was. I'm just saying. Just general. I like to ascribe to that relative idea because you know.
You were talking to the epitome of suppress and compartmentalize.
Listen. We have rooms for privacy at the inn. We can have a conversation when we
You're
get back.
sitting in the inn right now, and even as you speak,
I started walking out when
Mhm.
I said let's go to the church.
I
I'm
assume we were
leaving the
walking. Have this
establishment.
I
conversation
see,
while
I
walking.
see, I see.
Yeah.
You all begin walking. Anybody know where? Did you?
To the church?
Temple?
To the church.
Yeah,
I'm sure
where's
that
that?
one of
Where
us
it
does.
is.
I mean, we know
Back
what
to
churches
Dorn.
look like.
We're following Dorn because he's the
Dorn.
one who
Dorn,
found this.
make a survival check.
Oh, good, great.
I
Think you
provide the
did.
help action,
I'm
or
pretty good
with
at
the
this.
use of the boy being a fly boy.
Mm-hmm. Rationalize for me really quickly how the boy would recognize the church from any other building from above.
Because I can see through his eyes.
Yes, okay. Rationalize for me real quick how you think you would recognize the church from any other building from above.
Or
Uh,
below, potentially.
Okay?
Oh,
For what it's worth.
oh boy.
It's possible. I just want to hear it.
Oh no, for what it's worth though, I am not flying like directly above things and looking straight down. Like it's not like a top-down view strictly.
Mhm.
So I can see the sides of buildings. Like I'm not.
Tell you what, make a religion check, and if you get higher than a 12, I'll let you take the help action.
I have a
I
Is it
question.
accept these odds.
It
How
could
does
also be on the
flight work
ceiling,
in
I
this
think.
weird
That was gonna be
gravity
my question.
situation?
Like if you go high enough, do you not just have vertigo because you're now feel like you're upside down?
Yes, you
Just
Right?
don't go to the
Okay.
middle.
imagine that there is, basically, there is a flat plane at which gravity would be
Inverted.
flip. Yeah. And even as
Oh.
you like kind of look up, make a quick perception check. In
As
relation
the
to
boy
this.
or as Tor?
Who?
Anyone.
Choose the DM. Make one of this.
Sure.
Make a
I'll let you
roll
take the
as-
help action for Dorn.
Okay, so now I roll with advantage.
Yes.
A
On
survival
your
check.
Survival check. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
20. Dirty 20.
With Tour's assistance, you begin marching off in the direction of what you believe to be the temple to Corlan Lorathian. There is a cove in the outer wall, curved wall of the large spherical chamber, where you can see this kind of curving arch entryway. With that perception check, Alucard, just to in regards to the conversation we were having, you look up and see particulate, like rocks, some as big as a head, some small, hovering like the rings of a planet in the center of the large chamber. You almost didn't notice it. It looks like a cloud from here. It's like if things just perfectly kind of land at any time, they're pulled by gravity in both directions and will equalize. And just looking up, you can see mostly it's organic dirt rock matter, but you do see occasionally like a child's toy, like a doll, kind of just stuck um, in limbo. And there's like a clean sheet circling the perfectly dividing the donut in half. Let me know if that visualization is difficult. I'm bad with words.
I mean, it makes
I
complete sense to
disagree.
me. Makes complete, yeah.
Nice.
You're
yeah.
a wordsmith.
Yeah.
I am a wordsmith. Inside joke. Please don't quote
Sydney
that.
Wordsmith.
Nobody say that ever again. As you begin walking towards this cutout alcove, ultimately you arrive and you peek inside. You see a number of drow, or tall folk. You can detect that some of them are drow based on skin color as they reach out and hold things, but all of them have hoods up. They're moving around. There is a long, low hallway. The ceiling comes up from stalagmites and is carved into like a gothic undercroft.
I walk in.
Like this.
Wow.
I will follow closely behind.
It says I do not have a token on the screen.
It's in the chat.
Oh,
Oh, the chat. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Ooh, that's pretty.
it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, I walk in.
All right. As you begin to walk down the path, a couple of people look up and kind of move out of your way. Ultimately, you make your way to the large kind of bright stone. I call it bright stone because it's not the same like dark, dingy gray that everything else is. It's clearly imported. Some kind of cream-colored marble makes up the building here. The doors are cracked open, just enough where you could slip inside. It's like a small building at the end of this, as you can see in the picture. There's like a church at the end of the large chamber. And walking inside, it's a very quiet, solemn scene. Much like most churches, there are a handful of pews, a long central aisle carpeted. Glowing crystalline light casts kind of pure, nearly sunlight down on the room. Not quite so bright by any means, but you're seeing true color for the first time since coming down here. Everything else in all of Podrock is cast in these bluish hues from the glowing mushrooms and crystals, and in the inn, the only place you've been to that has like true flickering flame, it's got that kind of classic dingy tavern sort of lighting, but it's been a long time since you've looked down at your own clothes and seen their true like sunlight color. And it's kind of like surreal. As you look towards the pulpit, where you would expect there to be a pulpit, there is none. There's a small shrine, further encased into a small cave, and about it flit tiny globes of light. There is a figure tending to this shrine.
Do I recognize this figure?
You do. With their hood down now, you can see the very androgynous drow individual. Long white hair braided in the back. They have some amethyst earrings on both ears. All of you now looking at them, very difficult to tell what gender. Very elegant features, sharp, but not really leaning towards a particular gender. As you approach the shrine, Um, to give context to this image that I just dropped, the figure standing next to this, that like central lip where the candles are would be up to their waist. So this is quite, while it looks like there's little doors on this, it's quite small, even for gnomes. And as you approach, you can see that many of the globes of light that are swimming around, floating around, are glowing fey folk, fairies, that inhabit this small inner cathedral. And the individual that you had seen in the marketplace stands nearby, tending to the candles. They look up as you approach. So you have come.
Yes. Hello. Forgive me. Are you the individual I was speaking with earlier on the street?
Yes.
Okay. This is the party to which I alluded earlier. These are my compatriots.
Adventurous.
Well, yes, and we are adventurers, as a manner of speaking, but we also well, we have a higher purpose in our current mission.
If you say so. You
I
seek Menzo
think-
Baranzan.
Yes, we do, and we thought that perhaps that the drow folk might be able to assist us in getting there, or
Is it
give us some
a
assistance
death
in...
sentence or prison sentence that you seek?
Well,
Either will be lively.
perhaps you had some advice on avoiding such eventualities.
I do.
I
Stay
hope
away.
you aren't yeah, I knew that was coming. Actually, we can't. Because of the nature of this place of worship, I'm assuming that you're familiar with Cernunnos.
That is a very old name. It tickles the memory as if I have seen it in a text, but only in passing. How is it relevant?
Cernunnos is a titan, and is most known for uncontrolled growth and consumption.
You seem very well educated, considering little is known of the Titans.
Well, that's only because I have seen Cernunnos in action with mine own eyes.
That is highly improbable.
And yet, here I stand telling you that that is the case. Cernunnos has returned to the upper world and is currently taking over the Moonshay Isles.
She's listening,
myself.
but as she turns around and pours some clear water into little silver bowls, and the fairies kind of begin to swarm down. They come opening these windows and doors in this little chamber and kind of just swarm around.
I and the rest of the party gathered here before you seek to stop Cernunnos from eventually taking over the entirety of Faerun. So why do we want to go to Menzo Baranzan? I can see your face asking. We have been led to believe...
Pertinent question, I think.
We have been led to believe that the River Styx runs in close proximity to Menzo Baranzan, and while our eventual goal does not lie in Menzo Baranzan, our eventual goal lies in an audience with the Overgod Ao, who might be able to assist us.
I was very mistaken. Menzo Branson might be the safest thing that you have mentioned to me so far.
Dorn guffaws uncomfortably loudly.
It echoes through the chambers and the quiet church.
There
Um,
is.
This whole time in the back, Mathis is playing a heroic, subtly tune in the background. Just like, it starts out really quiet, you don't really notice it, and then he starts talking about all that. It's just it's there now. No, it's more like
Demonetized. Just kidding.
Hans,
Wait, you
please.
guys were getting monetized?
No.
Howard, please don't.
Don't be ridiculous.
Um,
There's a whole playlist here called Heroic. Let's see. Hold on.
Yes.
Give it a try.
Why am I not hearing music?
I was not either, actually. I just realized.
I blame both of you.
Boundaries.
I also agree with that blame.
Can you guys hear music?
Yes.
Yep.
You guys are hearing music.
I can.
I haven't heard music.
Yeah,
all
it
the
really is setting the scene, man.
I
Yeah,
have
no, it's definitely playing.
I have a recommendation. Clicking
Ah,
on
there it
the
is.
music tab.
time.
And
In
turning the music on.
tab, AJ, thank you.
It was. In fact, I just turned it down and then I started hearing the music. Maybe.
Huh. That can sometimes happen, yes.
I did the
Yeah.
same thing.
Perfect.
Foundry, really great platform. Highly recommended.
In which
Seriously.
case, I blame technology.
It is often the cause of most of our woes. So, as you can see, we have quite the task ahead of us.
Indeed. If you seek
I-
to sail upon the tides of death, the river Styx, to the Sea of Souls, and the astral
Yes.
sea beyond,
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah,
Accurate.
that's accurate. Yes.
And you've been led to believe that the Styx is near Menzo Branson.
Well,
This
we
is
did
also
speak to
true.
another Titan.
I suppose it makes sense that such a river of tragedy would come so close to an empire of despair.
And malady, as we've been led to believe. We wouldn't try to be going there if what was above was any nicer, but it's not.
Everyone make a persuasion check.
Hey,
persuasion.
my true calling.
Oh, same.
22, baby.
Hey, I'll take that.
You always end up rolling well on charisma.
It's so off character.
It's my worst stat.
I mean, it's so on character, but off stat. Yeah.
It's nuts.
Let's see. Success. Failure.
My
success.
Foundry is like crazy slow. I'm gonna have to restart, but I'm gonna try to do this.
Don't you have like a plus 23 to persuasion?
I have a
With reliable talent.
plus
Don't forget
19.
that.
Plus 19? That's not true.
That's what it says.
Plus 9.
If he has expertise in it, it'd be plus.
Plus
Oh,
9.
yeah.
I don't know why this 19 is in parentheses next to it. That was
That's
my
your passive.
persuasion. So I'm just generally really good.
Oh, yeah, generally pretty good at persuasion. All right.
Did you realize natural
You're-
20 minus
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Natural 20 minus 1.
one?
Dorn.
I have my little die thing if I need it.
Your ambitions are ludicrous, but sincere, I think. I'm not sure what I could tell you to help. Menzo Branson is a terrible place, as are those who command it. If you get close, you should be careful of the scouts. Move like shadows. They haunt the corridors and tunnels, Some of them capable of moving directly through the stone as if it were no more than thick fog. They have corsairs that surround the city on a massive, placid black lake. They have innate magics that allow them to reveal things in the dark, make it impossible for you to hide. And then there's the lighthouse.
Oh yes, the lighthouse. We've heard, well, actually not very much about it. We have heard of it. Typically accompanying with tearing of clothing and gnashing of teeth. Do you have any details about this lighthouse and why it is so?
It is said that the gaze of love herself shines down upon Minto Branton from the lighthouse, and upon any of her enemies who might seek to enter her realms. So bright is her divinity that it blinds those caught in its beam that she wishes to subdue.
That's not great.
Do we know who Loth is?
Make a religion check.
Alright, good. Another thing I'm
On a deep
really
dive,
good at.
he knows who Loth is.
Dorn 15
That's not bad.
knows what 15 of Loth
Alucard
is.
knows who Loth is, regardless, with a 2.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna probably not to the degree that I'm gonna give
Mhm.
Tour, Dornican, and Vale. Yeah, so Loth was one of the gods of the Elfin pantheon who split off from Corlan Lorathian when Corlan Lorathian became the paragon of divinity within the Elvian pantheon, and at some point unintentionally created the elves. They also had a number of children who would ultimately become the various gods within the pantheon. That is Loth. Yeah. You have a picture of Loth right there. I forgot I can actually pull up a picture of Loth.
Spider Queen.
She is the Spider Queen. She is a Drider-esque creature, so a centaur, except her lower half is a spider. She turned against Corlan Lorathian and became his enemy. Became his anemone.
See an enemy.
Nope, a regular land anemone. Only 8 legs.
What about water spiders? They exist.
She's
Crabs.
Crabs. She became his crabs.
Oh, that's uncomfortable.
So she ultimately became the Corlan Lorathian punished her, and all of the elves who rallied behind her in that war by turning them such that they would be injured and made uncomfortable by the bright light of the sun, thus creating drow. Many of the drow still follow her, and kind of doubling down in their worship of her, in spite of the punishment doled out to them for doing so. Though not all drow still ascribe to her teachings.
Is there a means by which we might avoid this lighthouse?
If there is one, I do not know it.
Right.
You could escape the gaze of a goddess.
Well, it would seem to me if her gaze is the problem, then we should blind her.
She has many eyes.
Start one fight with one celestial being at a time, please.
That was a joke. It was.
No, yeah,
Um,
we look
I don't know
and
anymore, man.
then-
We're trying to go see. We're trying to. You can't, like, there's so much going on right now. Like, that's not outside the realm of possibility of what we're dealing with at the moment.
I'm gonna shoot an arrow at it.
Just a regular freaking
Dorn.
arrow.
Pocket sand.
So it's less than that. It's not even.
Right. So, not really a way of avoiding it that you know of. I assume that since you haven't told us the way, you probably don't know how to get to the river Styx either.
I was unaware that the river had any touch with the material plane here.
Well, do any of you have any questions that might be relevant that I am likely overlooking?
Would you happen to be familiar with the properties of an ancient scythe that may or may not be present on the material plane right now? One that was held by Cernanos and Corellon and Larathian before they were one?
What do you mean before they were one? Corellon and Larathian. Corellon Larathian is the leader of
Right.
my religion.
Yes.
Those with his blessing are capable of escaping the binds of gender and form.
That answers my question.
Party members can make a insight check on Alucard.
Alucard.
I have
Inside
I have an
check on
irrelevant question.
Alucard.
Dawn, if you'd humor me.
I always do, old friend.
So
I don't know anything.
I think I missed. I like dropped out of hearing for like a split second. And
Snooze,
I
you
think,
lose.
why are we insight checking?
Insight checking
Alucard?
Alucard.
You don't have to.
Come on.
But for what reason? Why are you guys?
He made a face.
Oh, he made a face.
Yep.
I didn't notice it.
Yep. Only Vale did.
So, are there any is there any record keeping in the Temple of Corellon Larathian?
This is but an altar, a shrine we worship. I wouldn't call it a temple. There aren't many who seek his guidance here.
Okay. So there wouldn't be a book of everyone who might have possessed the blessing of Corellon, would there?
Certainly not.
Okay. Anything special other than the fact that the innie can become an outie?
Oh my.
Oh, okay. Wrong. Not the best choice of words.
Again, with the delicacy.
Sorry.
So brave.
So brazen.
My apologies.
It's a delicate matter.
Okay.
It is a sacred blessing. It's not meant to be made light of.
You're right. My apologies. I should not have said that. That was rude and disrespectful of me. Are there any I guess that is all. Okay, never mind.
We do have common texts from the Elven Pantheon here if you'd like to read the teachings of Corellon Larathian. I'm afraid ours are quite old, but if you would care to stay and worship for a while, you may.
Are they written in common or?
Elvish.
Oh, perfect. Well, I speak Elvish. I don't know if I if I read it.
Fair. Fair.
Are you generally literate above table?
I am generally literate in
Then
common.
you can read
I don't-
Elvish. Yes, you can read
Okay.
Elvish.
You generally literate above
You'd be
table.
surprised.
Cameron, are you generally
No,
literate?
no. I was asking Cameron if Dorn
Oh,
is
God, I hope
generally
so.
literate.
Yeah,
be
I
surprised.
I
spent some
assumed
time at
so.
Candlekeep. I am generally literate.
There are a lot of kids who speak a language that they can't read.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Motion to rename ourselves the generally literate. Maybe not. I can't even say it.
Oh, that's hilarious. Do, do, do you have books that we might be able to take with us,
That's a big ask.
or are they meant to stay here? I'm just curious. I don't
I'm
think I
afraid
could read an entire book here in this one sitting.
I'm afraid the few copies that we do have, I must keep here.
Fair enough. Do you have like a pamphlet or something like that?
No.
Right. Well, it's a very kind offer. I think that we should probably begin preparing for our departure. The only thing I would also ask is, are you familiar with two gnomes by the names of I'm forgetting their names actually.
Miles and Chip.
Miles and Chip.
I'm afraid I'm not.
Oh.
Are they residents here in Podrock?
They are. Well, they are currently in Podrock. I don't actually know if they reside here, but they partook in the communal dinner earlier and seemed to be welcomed by all. So I assumed that they were at least known in the community.
It is quaint, isn't it?
Yes.
And interesting.
Very concerned with not wasting, which is refreshing, I suppose. But
there is plenty, but not so much that we could afford to be gluttonous.
Right.
The deep gnomes,
Exactly.
they're quite practical. It's refreshing.
I only ask about these two individuals because they have offered to guide us to, well, not to Mensa Branson, as it were, but at least near enough. Within an hour or two. Just walk.
That is quite a trek.
That's what we're told. A few days at least.
Oh. I was under the impression it might take weeks to walk to Mensa Branson.
Above table. They told us it would take 3 days, right? I'm not
Yep.
just making that up. Okay, alright.
They also told you that it would be by rail cart via a smuggler's tunnel.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
Yeah.
Well, they have a vehicle by which to ferry us there.
That is...
Railcar?
I was unaware that any of the old mining routes traveled in that direction. It must go quite deep. You know, there is an ocean between here and there. Above.
I'm sorry, what? We're going
We
to
literally
be...
know that. We literally came here via the ocean, Dorn.
Oh,
Geographically, Mensa Branson is nearest Baldur's Gate.
yeah, okay, that's right. I remember this now. Sorry. This was
Yeah.
was a Cam issue, not a Dorn
Yeah, no
issue. Sorry, I thought that you meant that there was an ocean here in the Underdark between
No,
like
rivers
two
and
oceans
lakes.
stacked upon each other.
We are beneath the ocean.
Right. I was concerned there was a subsequent ocean. It was submarinus to the other one.
Subaquatic.
I believe I've been subdued.
Subaquatic squared. Super subaquatic.
I'm sorry.
Super
From a shark,
aquatic?
it just seemed like quite a bit of water.
It'd be floating in the middle of it too. Like it wouldn't even like where the top and bottom be.
Yeah, we haven't
Make-
brought a very good boat, so I
You
just
get the swan boat, but you're like fathoms. It's just like. Whoomp.
yeah, exactly.
I
Right,
could tell the magical metal fish. You can climb inside it. No.
So yes, so all right. Yes, so they say that they can get us there in 3 days' time. Are you laughing at the quote?
Oh man. It's a good thing you guys keep yourselves so serious, focused around here. That would be a miraculously quick journey, indeed. Though I suppose not impossible by rail cart. There were a few skirmishes some 50, 60 years back between a Duragar encampment between here and there that I thought had shut down all expedient transportation under the Sword Sea. But if there are smugglers' routes, as you say, that would be perhaps the safest way to travel. Perhaps not. I'm afraid I don't have very much to offer by way of advice.
Fair enough. Are the deep gnomes generally trustworthy?
When properly motivated, they are quick to trust, slow to lie, but that says nothing for how they might otherwise deceive you. It's considered rude, base. That's not quite right. Beneath them to outright lie, but they might find fun in being able to claim that they never spoke an untruth while still misleading every step of the way.
I've dealt with Fae before, so that should be
It
relatively
is a common
simple.
trait of those who hail back to the old realms.
Right. Well, I suppose we don't have much other choice than to
As I said, generally trustworthy.
motivate them.
They are clever and pragmatic. A very practical people. They do disdain wastefulness.
Do they disdain gluttony?
Insofar as it might be wasteful, improper use of resources. The way their minds work, it's so mechanical.
Interesting.
But you have a gnome with your party, surely you know.
That's a very long
That's-
story. It actually while Vale here is extremely helpful and useful and wonderful. He's not originally a gnome, as it were, so he's less useful in that regard.
Shape changes are blessed by Corlan the Rathian.
Again, not quite what happened. We do also have a shape changer in our party, but
You can't just say that though.
Yes,
like it's
we
really
just giving away all of us.
it's just not okay.
Things.
Well, I am.
No, of course you meant Tour, who can
I
shape
can
change.
turn in partially to a crocodile.
That's true.
Talking-
He can grow a tail.
Pretty
I was talking about myself. I
Right.
used to
I
be
can
a
also move
completely
my
different
hands.
personality.
bare hands.
You do have the right to bear arms.
True. Look at these
Oh,
guns.
wow. Wow.
Well,
Um,
anyway, we digress.
Indeed.
Could I ask another relevant question that's
I'm not
substantially
sure.
less
I
disrespectful?
don't believe that it's good.
Can you is the question, I think.
I believe I am capable of such. It's another question. It's not an important question, but it just popped into my head. And
If I can answer it, I shall attempt.
so, are there common Elven surnames or well-known Elven surnames?
I assume.
I'm just assuming you. I'm assuming this is your person of the cloth that you just know information that I don't know. That's probably not a good assumption, but I'm just asking because maybe.
Are you not? You're not familiar with the lineages of our people?
No, I'm not.
I'm afraid I am woefully inequipped to educate you. I grew up here in the Underdark, under duress of the matriarchy. One day I discovered I had been granted the gift, the blessing of Corlon, and used that to escape my bonds.
Makes sense. So, do the people in Menzo Brandon use surnames at all?
Yes, they are great and noble houses of the Empire.
You don't by chance have a list of them, do you?
I do not. I worked for
'Cause I-
House Atraces.
Eli,
Okay.
They seem to shiver slightly.
Okay.
You said Atraces was the house that you.
Yes.
I'm not sure if employed is the correct word, but that's the one
Far
I'm
from it.
choosing. I'm sorry.
Even still not quite right, but probably closer to accurate.
So if I just said the last name, could you tell me if it sounds familiar? It may not sound familiar at all.
If you insist.
Okay, you don't have to be so upset about it. I'm just okay. But
I just don't know how
Guys, this is what a
Name
20 in
Jerry I
charisma
know
looks like.
of
This is what 20
was
in charisma
doing
looks like.
this.
Yeah, I'm just curious in seeing where this line of questioning goes
So-
realistically.
Cordret Key or Cordret Kai.
Called Drakai. It's not familiar to me.
Okay.
It sounds of Drow linguistic construction, not of High Elf or Upper World. But I could
Okay.
not say for certain.
Well, that's all I need to know. I apologize for the inconvenience and not knowing how to properly talk about things that are sensitive. So, that's all I have.
Did you really just post a Cobra Kai and give what to the fuck?
Yes.
Oh goodness. Oh man, the comedy just keeps rolling. I'm loving it.
Having a great night. We're here for the
The
comedy
lulz.
tonight. The lols tonight. Haha, lol.
Well, I appreciate your patience and your time. We will get out of your hair.
As I said, you're welcome to stay and worship. If you are respectful and quiet. Enjoy your time in Podrock.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question of AJ? What is
well-
Tor doing during this whole situation?
More or less just like paying an amount of attention, but kind of just looking around at what's going on. Like
Scratching his
this,
butt.
this place is kind of weird. Like I'm just kind of looking around.
I love that. Paying an amount of attention.
It is more than 0. It is
And
enough
not
to
much.
chime in.
A non-zero number of attention.
Attentions.
Perfect. All
Um,
right, gentlemen.
I'd like to spend some time here. I think I'll at the very least back the inn.
Yeah,
soon
you guys
enough,
are meeting tomorrow at a time.
8 a.m. is what we talked about last week.
An amount of minutes before midnight.
Whatever
amount of
8
minutes
a.m.
before
is
midnight.
in, yeah, whatever 8 a.m. is in Underdark time.
One of these episodes should be called minutes before midnight.
Tonight's episode is, thanks to Jerry Smalls, entitled "Between Podrock and a Hard Place."
That's clever.
It's very clever.
All right, Vale. You can find your way back.
I can
To-
see better than the rest of you can in here.
I mean, yes, but you know, this is not a familiar city to any of us, really. So I just, if you'd like me to stick around so you have a companion to walk back with, I'm happy to wait. That's more what I was offering. If you'd like to be alone.
Oh no, I have no reason to be alone. I just some are less delicate than others. Apparently.
Dorn shoots a glance sideways at Alucard.
I do not notice the social cues that just happened.
Right. I'll like briefly approach the priestess, the androgynous religious figure, and ask for one of their tomes on this god, and I'll just like find a corner and start flipping through the pages, like
Yeah.
kind of browsing through,
They
looking
provide you
for
with
any
like an illustrated manuscript. It's gold leafed. It kind of goes through reading it in Elvish. It's kind of the biggest tenets of Coralon's sort of creed are the freedom from this freedom of the spirit from mortal bindings, from the ability to not be attached to a specific form or ideology, the willingness to change your mind even if it seems like you change your mind every day. You know, if your mind has been changed, allow that to be the case. Believe what you would believe today, and tomorrow believe what you would believe tomorrow, even if it contradicts everything that you believed today. Because you might be right tomorrow. You might, new information. Always allow yourself to be susceptible to new information. Be diligent, but don't become stagnant. It's kind of the crux of the creed. You read that Coralon themselves are capable of any form, constantly a kaleidoscopic being, many shapes, very seldom settling on a single form, creature or shape. It is from this creature's blood during a battle that the elves were born, as the droplets of blood landed upon the Feywilds. Up sprang the Eladrin, the most elemental of the elves, and from them descending down, you get to those elves who ultimately left Feyre, and found their way to the material plane and lost that kind of spark of elemental kind of divinity and became more material. And you get the high elves and the wood elves and the dark elves.
I'm gonna specifically be looking for any mention of Loth as it relates to Coralon the Rathian,
Yeah,
since
you
I
could
figured
find-
that will be helpful information.
You
for
can
us.
find the whole chapter on their war against one another. Lolth herself decided that rigidity in the form of gender was necessary in the face of the chaos that Coralon represented. It was not malicious when she set out. She said, we need, basically she proposed we need genders and gender roles in order for society to be successful, not this ever-changing, effervescent chaos, effluviant. And Coralon took great offense to that. And that conflict spiraled out of hand and resulted in a war. The elves who sided with her were cursed to be hurt by sunlight, cursed to live underground.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Very.
Okay. Well, I'll set about just reading that chapter and occupy the remaining amount of time that Vale wants to spend here reading about this interaction between the two.
Sounds good. Vale? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's talk about what the rest of the party, if you've got quick stuff you're gonna do before
I'm leaving the temple.
Mm-hmm. Great.
I am simply accompanying my friends back to the place of living that is temporary but still living.
Okay.
I'm going to stay
up and eat mushrooms.
near
Oh.
Vale. Not encroaching on his space or anything, just kind of being around.
Okay. You're muted.
You're muted, John.
So you said a minute ago that, and this is Mathis is talking to the the priesty person. So you said a minute ago that shapeshifters were blessed by the big man?
Coralon the Rathian. Well,
Yeah.
only insofar as that Coralon epitomizes transience. Constriction to a single form is a curse of our material bodies that our ultimate ascension to his realms will free us of.
It's just interesting to hear that because I have a friend, a close friend of mine actually, who can like change into alligators and things, and it's just a lot of people seem to look down on him or maybe try to imprison him because of his abilities, and so it's
very
weird.
tragic.
It is.
Oftentimes people do not understand, and they fear what they do not understand. This is a classic flaw of mortals.
Yeah, mortals, am I right? Jeez.
There are many fables where Coralon Lorathian themselves would assume the forms of all the natural beasts of the world, to enjoy alongside them the life and death, the predation, and also the glee, the various simple pleasures of existence.
Are there like any depictions of this, or like pictures of any, like, even if they're not like artists that was there saw them, or is it just like, is there anything like that?
Nothing so concrete. Let me find it. I'll just let you. Above table.
Yeah, on table specific is what I was looking for, but above table's cool too. Coralon the Rathian.
No, I was specifically looking for like his symbology, his like symbolic emblem. And I can't really find it. It's just a silver crescent moon. No, on table. It is impossible to capture Corlan Arathian in a single form, even in depiction.
That seems complicated. Because, like, I could draw a stick figure and be like, Coraline, depicted.
Mysterious are the ways of our Lord and Savior.
I like to imagine that that was real, a reaction from it, and Mathis just feels accomplished. After that's done, Mathesis will go and be lost in thought inside of the thing, waiting for everybody to be done with things.
Okay, sounds great. Again, I'm sorry. That was completely wrong. Vale is the one having tragic and complex backstory stuff going on right now. Or forestory, I should say.
Current in story.
Story?
The plot.
Plot content. The elusive plot content. We found it. Just an hour and 30 minutes into the game. You're
Oh, it's not even
hiding.
also, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Not necessarily plot.
Definitely a side plot. Some tasteful side plot.
Hey, plot is plot.
Yeah, you know.
Alright,
Any
hold on
plot's
one
good
second.
plot.
I gotta do a thing.
I
Tasteful side
realize
plot.
that by laughing about that, I have just revealed quite a
Revealed-
bit about myself.
Yes.
I'm not ashamed.
You shouldn't be.
It is what it is.
It do be what it do.
It's tasteful. Tasty.
Wait,
Oh.
Tasty.
those are two different adjectives, brother.
Yep, but the same base. So
Is it?
it's rooted in the same word.
Yeah, they are cognate,
And
if that's what you mean.
I'm gonna just start saying that, like, out of context, probably wrong, just in different. Well, they are cognate, you know. So like,
I'll spend some time having just like also kind of asked for a book before
Mhm.
because they've also said some things that like really hit me in unexpected ways. You know. But eventually I will walk up. I have some questions as well that are more rooted in my personal journeys, I guess. And I feel like you may have these guidance, even if it might be what I want to hear.
If there's something I can assist in, I shall do my best.
In my more recent days, I've been chasing my own tail almost, is what it feels like. But chasing who I was once in a more literal sense than it may seem. I was brought back to life to this body, and
Oh.
I wish to return
see.
to what I was before.
You cling to
and
what you
that-
had. That is natural. Desire to return to comfortable and familiar.
Yeah, no, and if anything, Podrock here is for the first time I've felt comfortable in a place, and it's almost comfortable, but there's more to it than that. Just things are the right size for me again, which is been unusual.
I
But
can
that's
only
not what
imagine your challenges. It is a strange scenario.
I think that I've my solution for that, but that's not my problem really at this point.
Hmm.
I've met some throughout in my younger days, but none. I think they were followers of Alistre, her moon dancers, those that actually who did go to the surface again.
Hmm.
Um, but they they took refuge in the church that I grew up in. But I'm having a hard time getting to the point. Have you heard of instances where someone or something could supplant that which a cleric gathers its power from?
Such ritualistic magic is dark indeed, and naturally forbidden, but not impossible. Oftentimes such a curse is tied to a location, a place where a cleric may not be able to reach out to their chosen divinity, and in reaching out they may inadvertently connect with something else. But it would take a powerful mage or divine being indeed to truly break your connection. If that is your concern as you travel to the realms of Loth, I would not worry so much. There have been many clerics who have visited that land as slaves or travelers who have not been affected by her gaze in that way.
I wish that was what I was worried about. No, I'm fairly certain that has happened to me. I'm a follower of Selune, who I'm sure has few followers here just due to the nature of the place, which I have no qualms against, but that's just the nature of things. I seem to have been touched by the blood moon of Gehenna and a being there that
You and your party have been visited by such misfortune and such miraculous and outlandish adventures,
oh
even for adventurers.
yeah 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 uh, you're not incorrect. That's
I have heard an old story of the blood moon of Gehenna, though I don't know if it's true.
I'd be happy for
It's
anything.
an old grim tale. It was assumed that the moon in Gehenna had upon its surface a thriving township, a hamlet, with a blacksmith and a cobbler and a baker and a windmill, all the people happily going about their business every day. But it was all of it a lie. Each small piece of it was in fact one massive organism, a mimic, capable of replicating an entire society to draw in adventurers. It is just a tale, though. Obviously, I have never been to Gehenna. wish I could help more. I'm sure you've heard that a lot.
Yes.
Your plight is not enviable. I wish it were as simple as to tell you that the teachings of Corlan would ask that you abandon your attachment to your physical form, seek happiness in wherever you find yourself, but such zen is not for everyone. I wish you peace. Excuse me.
Thank you. Whenever if we get kind of like a little bit like if they go and do, I will, instead of getting Dorn's attention any other way, I will throw something at him.
Okay. Throw something at Dorn, who's in the corner reading.
Come on. Good.
He wipes up some of the drool that has spilled from his lip because he has fallen asleep reading this book in the corner.
Uh-huh. Well, it's late.
That's why I threw something
It's
at
like
It's like 4 minutes to midnight.
it's already like, 360.
And he sort of realizes, like, he kind of comes to and realizes where he is, and like realizes he's holding this book, and so he like snaps it shut, and it makes this like echoing like reverberation through the thing. He kind of looks around a little abashedly, and then walks over to the priest, the religious individual, and hands the book back, and
They take it
says,
back from you.
Thank you. It was quite informative. And thank you so much for your help and your hospitality.
Of course.
And then he spins on his heel and walks after Vale.
All right.
Are we leaving? Oh, okay. Bye. Thank you.
Yeah, as the various party members coagulate at the edge of Podrock Town, leaving the temple to Corlan Lorathian, the shrine to Corlan Lorathian, making your way back down the long cavernous hallway and out into the Podrock cave. And ultimately back to the inn, I take it.
Cognates.
Yeah, cave and cavern, cognate. It's true. And make it back to the inn, I take it. Is that where you're headed?
Yes.
There to spend some time asleep in order to rest and relax and recover before your adventures.
We're not meeting the brothers until
9:60.
9:60. Okay.
8 a.m.
So we've got some time to experience some experiential experiences.
Yeah, even so. Yeah.
A certain level of experience that one might experience.
Experiential. One might even quantify it as like points or dollar bills. I don't know. Why not?
Yes, we are going to sleep, but we are also going to have a conversation, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we pushed off that conversation that we were that I started talking about fog in the Podrock.
We can
And
also
how
refocus
flight
on the dollar
work.
bills.
No, that's what happened last time.
I took a cash payment from Sid last time.
And then I became a cleric to a blood moon instead. The dollar bills.
Well,
dollar bills.
actually, I don't think they use
Thorn.
paper money in Faerun. Gold.
I can't. Maybe I can't give you that point. I'm sorry, Cameron. I think they probably do use paper money somewhere in the realm, but
Perhaps. That's true. I haven't been to everywhere in Faerun.
I mean, heck, they pay each other in stones here, little rocks.
I love rocks.
Well, I mean, to be fair, what is gold
Sorry.
if not just a
Oh,
shiny rock?
Well, it's a mineral. It's
Is a mineral.
it's an element. Sorry, it's not a mineral. It's an element. It's specifically different than rocks.
It's an element.
A rock is mineral.
That's right. Like salt, the only inorganic thing we eat regularly.
I was gonna say.
Regularly.
I guess we get a lot of iron too, but like
Not enough. I was gonna say that's
we
not entirely
specifically
true.
put salt on things, which
Yeah.
I don't
you've
just
been
sprinkle
to a
iron
fast
on
food
it.
I also
restaurant?
put iron
Now-
on things.
People
Just-
do eat 24 karat gold leaflets.
You know what would go really great with this steak? An I-beam. That's what I want.
An eye.
I need a little bit more crunch to this burger.
No, you just go out to the, like, some people keep herbs in their garden. I keep just a cast iron pan. I just let it sit out in the rain, and then ever so often I go out and just brush off the rust into a little powdered cinnamon container.
You season your cast iron pan.
Season.
It's not, you're not
Yeah.
seasoning. That's what you eat.
Yeah. Gosh, we've been doing it wrong.
This whole time. I wonder if my iron's long. Shit.
So, yes, as you
only
return
if
to
it's
the
been
inn,
promised.
you walk in. Everett looks up. Hey there, friends. Welcome back. How was your
Hello,
venture
Everett.
into Podrock? Have you been enjoying it?
Well,
It's tasty.
Plan on staying a little while. It's a really nice place to visit. You should go. When you do, tell all your friends. Podrock Town. The place to be. Although I don't really know how to get back.
Father Noel.
Well, that's why I'm not leaving. Only way I ever got here was dangerous and
Painful,
painful. But you all got here,
Well.
so
Ours
Well.
was also very dangerous and a little bit painful.
that's actually very true. Do you have like a private room? Not for sleeping. I mean like a conference room or a private dining room or something that we might.
he
take
looks
use of.
around. Pretty private in here right now. There's like 3 other people in the inn, but he's like, no, I don't have anything more
Okay, that's-
segregated than this.
That's- I wasn't quite asking for segregation, but
But we do have our own chambers.
Yeah.
that's. Thank you for your hospitality, Everett.
Oh
Everett?
yeah.
Everett?
Anytime you're literally paying for it.
That's true.
Let me know if I
But-
can get you boys and girls anything.
I'll-
There's not a female with us right now.
Yeah, I
don't
didn't
like
think
to
so
assume.
either. Fair
Thank
enough.
you, Everett.
Go for it.
Please, my friends call me the bomb.
I'm not gonna.
I thought you were about to say, I'm not your
I'm
friend.
not your friend. I also was there, AJ.
Oh god. Ken's gonna
I
walk
would've
up the
done that.
stairs, I
I
guess.
would have I would have brought him down a drink to drink it and spit it out.
I suppose we'll retire to our chambers then. I'll follow after he can.
Yeah, slight misconception. It's not upstairs. It's subfloors.
Well,
Which
I
could
mean,
be
up is
upstairs,
relative,
maybe.
right?
Yeah, it's up from somewhere. But you do descend the stairs, gravitationally speaking, to the chambers. All of the sleeping chambers are like egg-shaped. They aren't, the corners of the rooms don't come to square edges. They're all kind of oval. Like there's large, like enormous sort of beanbag beds in the rooms.
Well, gents, should we continue our conversation from earlier. Now that some of the tempers have had
Yeah,
time
I
to
guess Mathis is not playing
ebb.
majestic heroic music anymore.
No, I think he probably is.
Just always.
I mean,
Yeah.
I am always ready for requests.
More of that.
Play that same song again.
Do we intend to speak
dun,
about
dun,
the
dun,
issues
dun,
that
dun,
plague
dun.
us, or are we looking more to just discuss appropriate topics of conversation? Because
I don't really want to teach anyone how to be an adult.
Shots fired. Blank blank.
I said that, and even that. See there. Okay, fair. That maybe I should be also, because I didn't mean it that way. I apologize.
I don't think I have any problem being an adult. I just okay.
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Might we set aside our hypersensitivities for a moment and try to bridge some of the gaps that might have happened amongst our party earlier today?
Mathesis will pull out an arrow of slaying. This is the arrow of talking. If you have the arrow of talking, you can talk. If you do not have the arrow of talking, please refrain from talking. If you would like to request the arrow of talking, please hold your hand up as such and flash and flash and flash. I would like to start with the arrow of talking and ask a question.
Please,
Fail.
please do not cut yourself on the arrow of talking. Be very dangerous.
Yeah,
Oh,
please
gosh.
do be careful. This is indeed real
Gosh.
arrow. I would like to ask question of Vale. I will then pass arrow of talking to Vale. Vale, what's going on? B? Like, we know that you got red stuff and it happened with the vampires, but we don't really know everything that's going on. And I will extend the arrow to Vale.
I take it very gingerly. I literally don't know. Nothing about anything that I can do actually functions differently. I feel like I should feel something. I know something's different, but I don't know what it is and or why. Except the why is that I was likely cursed by that damned vampire. But I think that what scares me most is that I don't feel a difference. I don't feel an evil corrupting me. I feel exactly like I was. Which is already something I wasn't very happy with. Here you go, you can take this. I'm kind of, thank you. I need to think again.
Perhaps you're looking at this all wrong. I personally think it's quite beautiful that you don't feel any different. Because that means one of two things. Perhaps your inherent faith in Salune is powerful enough that this curse of Gehenna is not really that influential on you. Or perhaps you're just seeing the other side of the coin. I will hand the arrow of talking to Tor.
So I don't really have a lot in terms of faith to speak on, but as somebody who gets my power from near divinity, at least, it's not who gives it, more of how you use it, you know? That's, I mean, you know, if we have to go beat the shit out of somebody, we can do that, but, like, your actions define, you know, who you are, not where you draw your power. So, I hand it over to you, Ken.
I mean, all of us have gone through some pretty twisted stuff. We slaughtered a bunch of people who were going to go release Tor the day we met him. You know, Dorn was someone completely different for a long time when we met. Still one of the strangest days I've experienced. I, you know, am devil demon thing. But we have gotten through it together. I mean, we've fought off other divinities. We've kept each other in line. If you don't feel different, then I'm of the same opinion as Dorn. It shows that perhaps Selune was luckier having you than the other way around, and maybe she just wants you to see the other side before you come back. I'll hand the arrow back to Mathesis.
I just want to say that you've lost your body and you now feel like you've lost a connection with Selune, and that seems really scary to me, and I can't imagine how you feel. I will hand it over to Vale.
This is something that I've not mentioned, I think, at all, because it's hard to think about the time when I was gone. Like, literally, just I didn't exist, but I have some vague memories of this. I remember being alone, just briefly, and the halls of Kalimvor, which is terrifying to when you think about it a bit more and realize that there was no one there. But I was taken quickly to my heaven, and the only thing I did there was prepare to come back, because I didn't feel like I deserved it at the point. And I've been trying to earn that place that I had, that short time that I had there. I will tell you that it's absolutely terrifying knowing that I may have lost that. And that's just what's been in my head. But again, the only way to get through this is to do it. Like I said before, I know it might be more of a cliche, but like I'm prepared for this. I'm ready to move on. I don't think it will cause me problems with this, but it is a consistent worry. I hand it over to Tor.
So, while I can't imagine that because I don't live that type of life, right? Also, don't discredit the fact that this, whatever the hell, is a malicious force acting its will out, right? It's not like you chose what you wanted, right? I mean, that's gotta mean something. We just go stop the thing that's doing it after we stop the thing that's, destroying the whole world. And then for everything I understand, Selune will be waiting, right? I mean, you haven't done anything from as far as I can tell. It's not like you've thrown away what you had. Something is acting out a malicious will upon you, and you were a victim. So we just make you not a victim anymore. It's, from my perspective, it seems pretty straightforward because you haven't done anything wrong and then we fix the problem, so woohoo. I mean, obviously that doesn't stop what you're feeling right now, but at least from my perspective, it seems relatively straightforward. Anybody else? There you go, Mathesis.
Alucard, are you okay? And I know you're going to say something that's really dodgy and tries to avoid the question, and that may just be the answer.
but it seems like you're not okay. And I would like to know if you're okay. I will hand the arrow gingerly with the tail face by the point, with
Fletching,
the
yeah.
feathers facing. Yeah.
Worth noting, nobody has carefully passed the arrow until someone passed it to Alucard, the clumsiest and least coordinated of the party.
So, okay. What really is okay when you think about it? We are on a journey to talk to an overgod who no one talks to about putting a titan back in timeout. Maybe it's just me, but everyone seems very cavalier about this whole situation. It's not. It's kind of a absurd thing. Number one, if there's a list. So, number two, okay. I've been
Number one is just. Oh, I don't have the thing.
I have now
Number
been
one is
6
just a
days
list.
without being able to drink from this flask, and it is a terrible feeling. That's so there's that. So 4 days remaining there. It's been like a whole 48 hours since I've been able to do the other thing that I would like to do to alleviate my frustrations and things like that, because I don't know what type of diseases people in the Underdark carry around. So there's that.
48 hours. Do some math and get uncomfortable as I look around.
So I'm not okay. Also, let's talk about the whole situation where we fought a psychic jelly monster thing, and we haven't really unpacked that situation.
I forgot
I
about
don't
that.
really, I really don't know what everyone else experienced, but in my head there were not very good words said. So there's that. So if okay, I'm dealing with the situation. So I guess the answer is no. I hand it to Doran.
Al, if I might ask, what did that monster say to you? Because, I mean, just from pure observation alone, you seem quite fucked up after that. I will hand it back to Alucard.
I was told that there was no need for the creature to make me feel as if one of my compatriots was dying or in imminent danger, because they knew that I wouldn't do anything to save them. And there are other things said, but that was the general gist of the situation. So I will hand it to Mathis has had his hand out.
I'm gonna ask this, and I want you to take it for what it is. Just a question. Is that true of you? Would you say that's true of you? I'll give it back.
I would like to assume that I would have done something. But when a disembodied voice basically speaks to your general way of doing things, it becomes a little bit crippling. I'll say that. I hand it to Dorn.
I have two things to say in response to that. The first, knowing the training that you received at Candlekeep, you are certainly aware that that creature's ultimate goal was to drive a wedge between each and every one of us. It would have said anything to achieve that goal. That creature does not know you the way that we do. And it certainly does not know you the way you do. If you would like to assume that you would have done something, I think it's safe to assume that you would have. The second thing is a question. And this might sound a bit cliche or silly asking, but what did that feel like, having that creature say that to you, beyond just being crippling? I'll hand it back.
I would dare, to your first statement, I would dare question, I'm assuming, based on what the creature said, that everyone else was given some type of message that indicated that they should help because someone was in danger. One individual.
I was told. I'm sorry, I don't have the arrow. I will speak briefly out of turn to respond. I was told.
Mathis will inflict 1 point of psychic damage to.
Dorn.
I will psychic lance you, non-lethally, for speaking out of turn. I've got the spell slots. Don't test me.
Okay, I am now at 111 points.
I'll allow it.
I hand it to Tour, or is it?
Your tour was.
Yes, I handed it to
the
Tour.
fingers.
Yes, I handed it to Tour.
So, yes, they did. However, it's a little fuzzy, but let me be clear in the fact that my actions weren't my own. So it could have said anything to me and I would have acted that way. So I don't know how much you really got of it, but kind of, screaming and yelling that somebody's in danger, that's true, but it had complete control over me mentally. Give to Dorn.
My eye is twitching because of Mathis's. If I remember correctly, I was actually outside of the ship at that point, and was tethered via a lifeline. And I was told that I needed to swim down and save Vale. And would have done, but also recognized that doing that would have killed me because I would have had to cut the tether. And so I was only able to resist the influence of that creature because of the very real direct threat to my own life at the time. But I would also say that that creature was probably trying to attack specific character weaknesses that might have been prevalent in each of us. Very often, as I'm sure you remember from Candlekeep, and I'm sure that the rest of the party can attest to, I am very willing to throw my body into a situation that is not exactly good for its health. triggering traps, etc., shooting black holes. And I think that the creature was counting on me doing that once again. And so perhaps what is most disconcerting for you is the fact that a mirror was shown to your own potential weaknesses, and it's up to you to decipher what exactly that weakness is. I'll hand the arrow over to Iken.
Your insecurities here sound like they lie in a question of whether or not you are trustworthy or heroic. And while I don't know you very well, Alucard, and we're hopefully starting to understand each other a little better, I will
Flashback to when
say,
Ken thought that Alucard was a secret bad guy.
yes, I will say that, well, may not be a hero, and you may not be a hero, and this group of adventurers may not be heroes. We are all in ourselves heroic. And you are impressive in your willingness to help others. I'm going to hand it to Mathis.
I didn't hear anything from that guy. He didn't talk to me at all. I'll hand it to Alucard.
Thank you for the kind words. However, it is in fact just how do I put this? I accept the type of person that I am, and do not be offended if I don't consider myself heroic, as I have found that heroes don't exactly have the best understanding of what should be done at all times. I hand it to Vale.
That's part of life, is that no one has the best understanding of what to do at all times. That's not about being heroic or not. It's that, and I've kind of been frustrated with you and said this like in a supportive but angry tone at least once, and I apologize for that. I'm dealing with my own shit clearly, but you're not just at this point, you're not just along for the ride. You're not just palling around with us. You've committed to something much larger than any one of us. There's enough to that, even if you don't understand. And you asked how we get by things, and honestly, like get through the things that we're dealing with. I don't know some days. I wake up and handle the thing that's on the plate ahead of us. That's all that I can do. Otherwise, I will drown. I will falter and fail in every way if I actually think about every single thing that we're dealing with. It's too much, realistically. But at the same time, it's what we have in front. It's what we have to deal with. Because if we don't, who will? And part of me feels like you understood that. Otherwise, you would have left long ago. I don't know you well either. And maybe I presume, but that is what I've gathered, at least, from the things that I've seen with you.
You say we have to deal with them. Here's the thing. Faerun is full of people who are willing to lay down their lives for the purpose of whatever reason they believe they should. And the fact of the matter is, none of us have to be here. We could all choose not to be here. I'm here because I want to be, but I also know that the hero problem, is that the feeling that you have to do anything. I'm gonna hand it to Tour, I guess. Yes.
Dorn, I'll give it to you next, I promise.
That's fine.
Psychic.
Just to say quickly, I mean, while I have my own motivations as, like, this guy's shitting on my home, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a pretty good motivation, but I don't want to fucking die. I don't want to throw my life down for this. I'm a greedy sack of shit. I want to go back and live my life out with my people. Like, I'm not here to be heroic. I'm here to kick some motherfucker off my land. I mean, if we're going to judge ourselves off of being heroic or not, I've killed countless innocent people. I have pillaged, I have pirated all throughout the fucking islands. It's like, if we're going to sit here and, like, beat ourselves up over be it not great people, I mean, that's, like, I'm not saying that's necessarily what you're doing, but understand that, at least in this room, we're not all golden boys. We're not all perfect and morally straight, because I sure as fuck am not. I am doing the right thing because it aligns with what I need. And generally, I'm not evil, but I would not say that I am good either. I give over to Dorn.
I would echo what Tor is saying. The main reason I joined this group was a healthy vengeance, a healthy desire for vengeance against a cult, mixed in with some daddy issues. So I don't think that I'm really a paragon of virtue either. I would say that heroics are not defined by somebody who does the right thing because they have to, but does the right thing because they choose to. You are choosing to be with us. You are by definition heroic for choosing this path. You don't have to be here, and I think that's what defines you as a hero, not because you run into battle with reckless abandon.
Dorn.
That's stupid. That's not heroic.
Of course, tag.
I will hand it back to Alcard.
You might be right. My parents chose the life of a hero over their own son. And so, please understand that my issue with heroism stems from the lack of concern. So, and editor.
I just have one small comment to say, and it is, while that's fair and reasonable, and I don't understand, make it your own then. Don't base it off of their version of heroism. Make it yours if you want it, or do whatever you please to do, but whatever it is, own it. Make it yours. Don't base it off of somebody else.
I didn't think I need that back.
Anyone else?
Silence befalls the chamber. Just the puttering of candlelight in the oil lamp.
Mathesis will
a long evening and a longer day to come on the morrow. Sorry, yes, go ahead.
Oh, Mathesis will just reach out and grab the arrow. I think that was good. I think that was really good. Great job, guys.
New goal for myself. Try not to kill innocent people. I'm going to bed. Good night. I walk out. I go to bed.
Okay. This could be your bedroom. There are only two.
Oh, it's for purposes of the words that I said, it's the other one.
Okay, sure. All right.
For the duration of this conversation, I've been lounging on my side.
Yeah, on the
So-
beanbag bed.
Yeah, so I will. Yeah, exactly, just like that.
Yeah.
And so I will sort of like fluff up a part of the bed and rest my head down.
Yeah, basically. There's another large beanbag bed in this room, as well as a small like fireplace built into the wall that has like briquettes that are red hot, putting off heat, but they just appear to just continue to put off heat. They don't burn down. They're just some kind of super dense charcoal or something. It's not open flame, but it's just kind of radiating in the room because it's underground, and well, you're all underground, but this is particularly underground again. So
It's under the underground.
yes, so it's quite warm. So as some of you make your way to the other bedroom, similarly appointed, and take a long rest in the inn.
Hey, Dungeon Master, can I ask a question? Or
it-
can I ask a favor?
Sure.
Favor.
Can I ask for like a group persuasion check that does not involve me?
Sure. Yeah. Can I get pass around persuasion roll? Lol. Dorn, classic. Okay.
Unlucky.
Wow. It is
Wow.
not great.
Wow. Okay.
I would say 2 out of 3 success.
Big success, though.
Psionic die. Oh no, that's Bardic
it should be
Inspiration.
a
You can't
D6,
Bardically inspire
sorry.
yourself yet.
Yeah, it should have been a D6.
We take the 3.
Yeah, you take 3 on 1d6.
Hang on.
Hanging on. Hanging on to your every word.
Hang on.
Gotta hang
Ah, it's
to
a
what
saving.
we got.
It's a saving.
Doesn't make a difference if you make it or not.
What is it?
You're halfway there.
I was thinking about
Nope.
Indomitable, but it's a
We
saving
got
throw, not
each
an
other,
ability check.
and
Starts with
I
D, I think.
feel
DMCA.
that-
DMCA. That was
DMCA. It's on.
Not,
That's
not
fun.
Bad hammer. Alrighty then.
Alucard does sleep.
Hey, look at you.
That is great news. Good job. The big one hit point recovery.
1 hit point recovery. Yep. Yes indeed. Yes indeed. All right. Superb.
Long rest.
What time is it? 9:38. Okay. Yeah, we can go ahead and get started on the following day as you all awaken.
It's Uktar 21.
The 21st of Uktar.
Or level 21. Man, that's crazy.
Wow.
Hey, Sid, weird question. What is the
weird answer?
what is the
Snail hearts.
what is the word for the thing that comes after the year?
The
Like
date.
BC or AD? What is the term for what those things are?
Era.
Is that what they, okay? What
Epoch.
do you know?
I don't know. Yeah.
What is it in Faerun at this moment?
The first age. I don't know. It's
In the age of
True. That is true.
tell me I'm wrong.
the
Strictly truth has been spoken.
it's
Will, you're muted.
1494 DR.
DR.
Okay.
So, yeah, damn it, I kept saying DR.
Okay.
What
I
does
was
that
just
mean?
curious.
I also don't
Day
know
of
what it means. I
Reckoning?
just know.
Damage recalculated.
Is it
Damage
not Day of Reckoning?
recalculated.
Or
Let's
No,
let's do
Dale's
DR.
Reckoning. The Dales are the
Dales?
ones who made this calendar. The Dales
Okay.
of that region.
Do it for Dale.
By Dale's reckoning, it's about 1494.
That's right.
Going off what the Dales say. That is.
I'm really sad that I didn't catch that freeze frame.
You all awaken well rested, well traveled, well endowed, I don't know, and get up
Oh my.
Ooh.
ready for the adventure ahead. I will say that most of you do sleep a little longer than normal, not past the time that you're supposed to, but a little longer than normal. It's been a strange couple of days as far as like your circadian rhythm and
Time means
the
nothing.
light, because there's not really the passage of day-night cycles to kind of trigger your melatonin, serotonin cycle. You kind of have to manage that on your own. So it's kind of like it feels like just twilight. You're all a little like perpetual jet lag. What's up? Okay, I told you what the scene looks like.
I
Now
have
you tell
stood
me
up.
what
I
you're doing.
mean,
I am going downstairs and ordering so much
You're going
food for
even
eating.
further downstairs?
No, sorry, upstairs.
Okay, great.
And then
Yeah.
I will eat so much food.
aren't
I'm
we
also
supposed to meet them
banging on
here?
the doors on the way out.
Yeah, they're gonna meet you at 960. So you get up around 1,000.
Yeah, so I mean,
990.
there's not really much to do. Get up, get breakfast.
I do aggressively bang on the door that is not ours
Oh,
as
okay,
I
sure.
go upstairs.
Boom, 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 boom.
Will appear out of the room as Bell. Well,
Okay.
It's time to get things started then.
Hey, Belle, how you doing?
Jonathan, can I ask you to? This has kind of been the case the whole time, but I didn't want to say anything because I'm kind of in the pocket that you're creating on stream. But your face is like subdivided by the. There we go.
That's the money shot right there.
The lack of
Um,
money shot. There we go.
Oh, buddy, no.
Dollar bills.
Nickel,
I will
nickel.
pay you to not ask me to level up again.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna need that
Say
proof.
less,
first.
as it
We're gonna
were.
need that in writing.
I
Signed a contract
Or
about
in
this
what way?
actually.
Oh goodness.
I mean, it's a live recording. I'll just go clip it and then
Sure.
verbal
sure.
contract.
Verbal contract. All right. So, as Tour and the rest of the party make their way back up to the inn, Everett is already upstairs. There are food platters set out. It's kind of like walk up and serve yourself. Enormous mushroom caps, like maybe 16 inches across. This mushroom cap, and are set around the room. They seem to be steamed, so that the mushroom cap itself is soft, but inside is just quiche. So like instead of pie crust quiche, it's quiche inside mushroom cap. And people are like walking up and slicing out a slice of mushroom cap and like putting it on little plates. And it's kind of like it's been prepared probably the night before. It's not hot, it's not piping, it's room temperature. It's all kind of very solid, but it's, the quiche is cheese and diced tomatoes and maybe some smoked pork.
Slightly congealed. Just like
Yes. Yeah, room temperature smoked pork. Yep. Congealed
Where's
quiche.
the waffle maker?
Damn it! This is the hotel.
I am giving you a 1-star review. Let me see your manager right now.
I
If we were
want
ever
a
to
waffle
be
boat.
in a city where waffles would actually exist, this is the one. And
To be fair.
here we are.
This feels very Norwegian. The Soul City just feels like.
Our gnomes?
I bet you don't have to pay for health potions here. Like it's just all free.
We paid for. We bought rations.
There are surprisingly few beggars. You did have trouble finding beggars, homeless people.
Interesting.
Dorn looked. I'm going to find some beggars. I'm like, no, you don't see anybody lounging in the streets.
I bet these guys have a 6-day work week. Like it's just probably just insane.
Their taxes are probably like 75% of their wage. I mean, no, it's
Yeah, but like they
Ridiculous.
get food every day. and, like,
ridiculous. Unacceptable. My money.
No, the way they do
and
it
I need
is
it now.
the way they
That's
do
right.
it is all of their corporations, the wage structure is managed by the government. So like
Mhm.
the owner can only earn 300% of the lowest paid employee of the company. So whatever the owner decides to take home out of the top profits, the lowest paid employee can only make has to be paid at least a third of that. So it's all percentage based. It's almost mandated profit sharing.
Mhm.
And that works a
Mhm.
lot better than well, I guess the moon really had an interesting
The moon, you say? The moon. Yes. Oh, you are from the moon.
Interesting.
Yes, not the moon of Gehenna. They have a
I felt like it's a
quiet,
sore spot.
quiet
Angry voice
town
in the sky. Like what?
on the moon of Gehenna. It's all a mimic. It's one big mimic. That's what I've been told. It's a provincial town.
Interesting. Interesting.
So
Time
are
skip.
Are we ready
Yes.
Here's our boy.
to go and do the thing that's going to get us killed?
Momentarily,
Possibly.
as you're all enjoying quiche and orange juice, the most nutritious breakfast you've had in a long time.
That's fair.
Miles and Pick. No,
Miles and Chip.
Chip.
Miles and Davis.
Pick is a
Chips
copper
and dip.
dragon from Eberron. Miles and Chip walk in to a bar.
Mhm.
Chip looks nervous. Miles has a facade of confidence. He walks in.
Chip, you looking nervous.
You look quite confident, though.
Damn it, I should have made you all roll insight checks, but you're just giving away information. No, me? No. I'm not nervous. Don't be silly. I'm an expert.
Don't lie to me. We're going to be traveling together. I may have to defend your life.
I guarantee you won't have to defend my life.
Well, your palms
I am
are
a
sweaty.
staunch hider. Fleer
Would you like
and hider.
Your
Would you like
knees
to
are
make a
weak.
wager on that?
He's kind of like intrigued by the opportunity to earn money. But he's like, no, of course not. Like I said, I have an excellent flight response.
Right. Is that why you've got vomit on your sweater already?
You
Don't be ridiculous. That's pea soup.
I've never seen pea soup that shade of red before.
Yeah, honestly, I'd be more.
Well, it's
I'd be
lentil
more
and
surprised
pea.
for
It's
vomit.
lentil and pea soup. Look, hush your mouth.
How did your mother make it?
As a matter of fact, my mother's dead. Miles looks
Oh.
over. No,
I'm
she's
quite
not.
sorry about that, mate.
Well, oh, fuck you. Shut up.
I'm sure she would have been a fine cook.
Miles, she's an excellent cook. She's not dead. What? Asshole. So, are you lot ready?
Always.
Good. We got a long journey ahead of us. hoping to make superb time. So we need to get going quite early. You guys have your rations and everything all set. Everything
Yeah, we've got
good to go.
we've got a gnome.
I know.
Mhm.
Oh, of course.
I did want to get a bucket because I don't have a way to contain water. Sorry, this is above table. I meant to have done this yesterday. I just remembered. I
the spell.
This is a
apologize.
very interesting,
I-
a very interesting statement.
Oh, I'm sure we could purchase a bucket on the way out of town from a general store. What do you mean, like a pail, like a tin can, or more of like a
seems-
tarred barrel bottom
Maybe,
affair?
maybe a
To
wagon.
be able to contain water approximately.
It's a fucking lot of water.
Do you
30
think that they
gallons of water.
Do you think they would have a collapsible drum? Maybe some sort of container that is collapsible would be easy to transport.
Hmm.
We have a we
Yeah,
have
there's
a
some
hole that
boiled bullet hide. You can make a good water container out
hide?
of that. Bullet hide.
Okay.
Bullet hide. It's like chrome tanned. It's
How big is it?
oh really
Could I
big.
fit in it?
Sure. I
Okay,
think that
big enough, let's go.
they're like the size of like, I don't know, a coup. What do you call them?
A coup.
A coup?
Eku? You know
No.
Eku?
One
Like-
coup. The boy
like to
coups
overthrow a
have
government? A
horns,
coup?
and the girl coups have tinier horns, and they're like black and white.
A cow.
Cows?
Cow. That's a weird way to spell it. Why do you spell it that way if it's not a coup?
COW? Yes.
Ah, I suppose so, sure.
Yeah.
In
alright.
common alphabet, right?
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
I'm curious now. How do you pronounce the onomatopoeia of someone being hit?
Ooh.
POW.
Oh, I thought you meant ow.
They probably just spell it differently
Interesting.
with the way that onomatopoeia would work.
Poo.
Can you spell onomatopoeia?
Yes.
No.
O-N Matapia.
Onomatopoeia.
Great work. That's better than I could have done.
Right, let's get started then. We'll stop by the general store, make sure you have all the equipment you need. What do you need? If it's water you need, we've got you covered on water anyway.
Well, it's at some
that I
point
just
you
said-
will eventually abandon us. So like,
Oh, certainly. That's true. Very true. As part of our contract. Agreed upon. Well in advance. It's not so much abandoning as the termination of our agreement.
it's all based on perspective.
Yeah. And where we're going probably cannot drink the water that would be in, provided we get there.
Right, so I suppose it'd be good to get a bucket. Right
Might be
then.
good to drink the water of the sticks. I might try that.
I'm pretty
I
sure
don't
you
know
die if you do
what
that.
just
I
said.
literally just said don't do that. And that's
Yes.
what I was saying.
Oh well, I mean,
It's a
won't know
life-ending
until you try.
scenario.
I'll take you by a little local store on the way out of town. And
Okay.
just like that, he takes you to a gnomish general store. It looks to be less catered towards like miners and potential visiting adventurers, of which you didn't see a ton, but more day-to-day household stuff for the gnomes who live here. Anybody have anything in particular they wanted to pick up? This is not really a magic item shop situation.
I think
I
we
picked
did get
up rations for the
rations
group
already,
last
but it was
week.
just like
I've
I
already got a
remembered.
climbing kit.
Yeah.
Does everybody have a climbing kit?
I don't know that I do.
I
You
had
should
one
probably
built
pick
for
one
it.
up.
I had one the size for a tabaxi at one point, but I don't know if
I've got
you
this
guys
rope.
took that off of my body.
They're buckles and belts. You can cinch them down.
Oh, I also don't know if they got taken off of my body. I got out of
yeah.
my stuff.
I do have an endless rope.
That's
Endless
everything I
TM.
ever need.
Endless TM
Asterisk.
rope.
It's really long rope.
Asterisk. Endless rope. Asterisk.
It's
Rope is
virtually
not
endless.
actually endless. Some assembly required.
You have to weave it as it goes. It gives you all of the individual threads. You just have to weave it together.
Only if you have batteries.
It's actually the shortest rope in the game. It's just produced by the company Endless. Very confusing.
Yeah.
That's
The batteries are not
It's
included.
only 49 feet.
actually really cool.
Yeah.
We should buy some batteries while we're here. Some extra double A's.
I also picked up these sunlight replacement pills, you all might want to pick up some yourself. Be a shame for us to be sick just because we can't see the sun.
That's what orange is for.
I thought we got enough for like the whole group for a while.
Belle got enough for her. And
thought you
some,
got
some
2
emergency
bottles.
stuff. I said, but I don't know how long we're gonna be down here. Y'all might want to get some yourself. Don't rely on me.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
hold
it's
on. How
it's a
many are in the
multivitamin,
bottles?
vitamin
I have
C and
60.
D, C and D
You have
multivitamin.
60.
Yeah,
How much
Wanna
are they? How
buy
much
some
are they?
flashlights?
they're not really expensive at all.
Yeah, they were.
I think that they are. And don't go back and watch the stream to correct me because my sense of economy is bad. But I think there's 3 silver per bottle.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
not expensive at all.
I have
Okay.
no memory of this event.
They're like little
Nobody pays
capsules.
attention to what I do.
I remember you purchased
I
them. I
was
just don't
with you.
remember how much they cost.
They are they're like yeah, multivitamin C and D.
Okay, I'll
B12.
buy. I'll buy some of those. How much is it?
3 silver per bottle.
Well, the last stream it was. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, uh-huh.
I
this
seem to remember it being 2 copper for 3 bottles.
That seems
Alright.
that's definitely wrong.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
You know what? You regress 1 level. Fuck you.
But we did just
I
level
see.
up, so you're still level 12. We're just all level 13.
Did we level up?
No,
Wait.
no,
Wait,
that didn't happen.
Yes, Jonathan, yes.
No.
I'm still
I'm
in
gonna
possession.
level up
Rebel against
right
your
now.
overlord.
There's
I'm
nothing
still
you
in
can do to
possession of
stop me.
2 cucumbers.
Oh my.
You
I'm
got
sorry.
2 moldy pickles, brother.
Oh, sorry.
They've been
what?
brined into salt water.
They are in bad shape. You
I
should
have
throw
a
those out.
jar of spiced apples.
I'm probably throwing them away.
Good idea.
I think I still have some Queen of Merc jerky.
Probably still good.
Queen Murphy.
Well, unless it was in the bag of holding, it's if you swam
actually,
with it
no.
through. Yeah.
I have teeth and a claw. I
Okay.
don't have any jerky.
Those are fine.
I also have a sled dog in my loot thing.
You have a sled dog?
A sled dog.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was how I.
Smokey.
Yeah, that was how I labeled Smokey.
Oh.
But no,
You just
he
threw
is
him in the
back
bag
in
of
Port
holding? Is that what you
Nyanzaru.
did?
No,
Yeah,
he's back in
Smokey's-
Port Nyanzaru.
Poor boy.
He's living his best life in the tropics, literally.
He had a dad, and then you took it from him
Here.
and then left.
He'd probably be a dire wolf right now. Or something.
Right. I'm gonna buy some of them pills.
Okay,
Ugh,
of course.
what a fun statement.
How much is a bucket?
A bucket of pills.
No, I mean less.
It's pronounced bouquet.
I thought.
I almost wanted to say that about the
Pickles?
bullet. That's what. Gary Gygax pronounced it boulet.
Boule. Yeah. A bucket is like 5 copper. What kind of
Cool.
bucket? Is it like they have
I
a
mean-
small pail. They also have like a half of a whiskey barrel cut in half.
That one.
Okay. It's more like a trough for livestock. It's big.
How do
Yeah.
we carry this once
Do you not
we
have a
great
bullet
question.
get
case,
past the-
bullet
we
hide,
We have
leather?
We have a unfold hole.
Are you speaking undercommon?
Oh yeah, fair enough.
I'm speaking undercommon.
Oh, we've got bullet hides. Sure.
You've got one that maybe can be in a, you
I
know.
don't have any worked bullet hide. I've got raw, like tan.
We're looking for something really to collect water temporarily, not something to store it, but let's just hold it while we drink out of it.
I mean, it's very water resistant.
How much for
like
it?
Well, how big of a what kind of square footage are you looking for?
We're looking for something maybe to carry 30 gallons, or at least hold it for a minute. Not really carry, just store for a moment.
Okay, you'd want a whole hide Uh, 20 gold
20 gold
for a whole bullet hide. Yes.
for a whole bullet hide. I think you're trying to scrub me one.
Go kill the bullet yourself then, and I'll tan it
I
for you
might.
for free.
He says he wants 20 gold from one of those hides. Like 20 whole gold.
Yeah,
20
I
gold.
was fine with the half a bucket. We don't have the barrel. We don't. It's more than enough water for the day. Anyway,
I think we've got him on the cusp here. I'll give you. I'll give you 18 gold for the
18
full
gold,
bullet
you
hide.
can go and fuck yourself. Because it's worth 20 at least. A whole
Oh,
bullet
come
hide.
on here, come on. Do a pal a favor.
He
How
goes
many
back to
times
the
do we get
back
to see
and like
someone
starts
like me here
moving
before?
big, like tall wooden frames in which there are these massive skins, like elephant-sized skins stretched taut across these frames. This is how much
All
leather
right.
we're talking about, and this
All
stuff
right,
ain't
maybe
cheap.
you're right. Maybe you have a good idea. We'll just stick with the bucket then.
All right then.
Bouquet.
Got the
I'm
jokes
just gonna
tonight.
run with the canon that Undercommon is for some reason Irish.
Well, yeah, I
that's-
got into it with the gnomes, and then
That's
all we got here.
that. Yeah,
all we got
I'm
here.
here for it. I've been meaning to practice.
all right, gentlemen. I have to get up
Bucket.
early tomorrow because I am having windows installed in my home.
What a adult thing to say.
I know, absurdly expensive, most money I've ever spent in my life.
Except for the house.
I didn't buy the
You
house.
didn't buy
My
that?
wife bought
Is
the
that
house.
more expensive than the HVAC?
Yes. Oh yes.
Oh, fuck.
Yes, way more expensive.
The
Yeah.
windows more expensive than my car. More expensive it's more expensive than anything I've bought in my life.
Okay, listen, I've got
So-
a deal for you, pal. I can come cut holes in your walls and hang some
put,
plastic up.
Yeah, we get some like
The
cellophane.
difference is, you see, AJ,
Uh-huh.
I am not buying the windows. My house is buying them with something called equity. So,
Hmm.
and
I
the
feel like
windows
if I
will
were to cut holes in
increase
your
the
walls,
value,
the equity would
whereas
go
you
down.
cutting holes in my house and covering them with cellophane might decrease the
Will.
value.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I do love you. So in any event, we're gonna have
You
to
need a
hard
fallback.
stop tonight at 10 o'clock. We will reconvene next week as we venture forth from the city of Podrock. I thought we were leaving Podrock tonight, but you all had to go have a full-on heart-to-heart, which I adore and was great. So,
I would like to point out the fact that the sharing circle of Thwangang and the sharing circle of
11th
11th Ornament are two very different sharing circles.
very different
In
sharing
what way?
circles.
It's just oddly enough, this sharing circle was much more like everyone was speaking to the point of what they were feeling. But at
Thwangang
Thwangang, we
is
have
just-
to walk around
very
the circle before we
emotional.
can actually get to the point.
It's very emotional. Yes, it's very colorful language. Insofar as I mean, it's like flowery. It's overly embellished to so as not to offend anyone, and altogether less productive.
Everybody
Per-
just needs a,
Per square minute.
a rude and direct barbarian in their life.
I don't even feel like it was rude. I feel like it was just like, this is how I feel. Okay, this is how we feel about you feeling. And then we just got to it, and I'm like, okay.
All right, guys.
Every heart to heart should be like that.
Every
point,
hard
point.
Boom, boom, boom. Knocking these out.
Okay.
Let's get on the same fucking
We
page.
got stuff to
set
do. We got a
agenda.
Titan
We
to
got Titans to banish. We got overgods to talk to. All right, guys. We will catch you all next week. Thanks so much for coming out. Peace, love, happiness to all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Except for Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, right?